FP&A teams spend a lot of time building models from scratch, setting up the structure, pulling in data, and formatting everything before they can even start the planning process. But what if you could skip all of that? Let's walk through an example, building an OPEX template from scratch. I'm starting with a completely blank Excel spreadsheet. No template, no structure, nothing set up yet. What I want to build is an operating expense planning template for my New York sales department, including my actuals from 2026 and a plan for 2027. First, I open Claude in Excel and make sure my Vena MCP is turned on. With MCP enabled, Claude has access to my Vena data model, so it understands my accounts, my entities, and how everything is structured. Now I give it a prompt, asking Claude to create an operating expense model for my New York sales team, including my 2026 actuals and my 2027 plan. In my prompt, I include a skill for Vena formatting. This skill is essentially a set of built-in instructions that guide Claude on how to structure and format the model. So instead of building something generic, it's actually building something that's already aligned to my company's Vena instance. That means the connection between Excel, Claude, and Vena happens much faster, and with the right structure from the start. Now, before building anything, you can actually see how it's thinking. It identifies the data model, defines the structure of the template, and lays out the rows, columns, and dimensions I'm going to use. So it's not guessing, it's building this based on how my business already is set up in Vena. Then, Claude starts building. We can fast forward here, but you'll see it creating the template directly in Excel, pulling in accounts, laying out the time periods, and structuring the entire data model. At the top, I've got my page selections, so I can switch between entities, departments, and even my scenario. In the rows, I've got my operating expense accounts, directly pulled from Vena. Across the columns, I've got my 2026 actuals and my 2027 plan values, fully structured and ready to use. And because I use that Vena skill, everything is already formatted correctly, from input cells to structure, so I don't have to go back and fix anything. So in just a few minutes, I've gone from a blank file to a fully built operating expense template. I don't have to spend hours building something from scratch or making a copy of something else and painstakingly refining it. I'm starting with a complete template and just focusing on finishing it out. And if I need to make any changes, Claude can help add variance columns, perform a quick analysis, and maybe even add some comments from my CFO. And because this is connected through Vena, I can take this OPEX template, add it directly into my Vena workflow, and start using it for real planning. Claude handles the build, and Vena provides the data model, the structure, and the system it all plugs into. Together, that's what takes you from a blank spreadsheet to a fully connected FP&A model in just a few minutes. If you want to see how this can work in your own environment, visit venasolutions.com/VenaAI.